My name is Caitlin Paul, and I'm from Hope Assembly of God in Ellicott City, Maryland. I will be presenting a short sermon senior. My main scriptures are Proverbs 14:27 and Psalm 147:11. The fear of the Lord is a fountain of life, turning a person from the snares of death. Proverbs 14:27. When I was little, I was absolutely terrified of vacuum cleaners. I thought they would suck me up. So as a joke, my dad would sometimes run towards me with the vacuum, and I would run away from him, all over the house, screaming because of how scared I was of being sucked up by a vacuum. And so we often look at fear like it's this ugly, horrible idea. And it can be. But as Christians, we're called to have a beautiful kind of fear, the fear of our Creator. So why do we need the fear of God? Deuteronomy 10:12 says that the only thing that our God requires of us is to fear Him and love Him and serve Him with all our hearts. Proverbs 1:11-10 says that the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. And this wisdom guides us. When we're walking through the valley of shadow and death, the fear of God keeps us from getting lost. And instead, it shows us the way up to the top of the mountain, overlooking those dark, dark valleys where we can drink from the fountain of life. But we live amidst a generation that has no idea what the fear of God is. And many of us, well, we're stuck in the misconception that the fear of God refers to being scared of God. Psalm 147:11 says that the Lord delights in those who fear Him, those who put their hope in His unfailing love. It doesn't say that the Lord delights in those who are scared of Him, those who tremble in terror of Him. So the fear of God isn't, God has the power to chop my head off at any point in time, so I have to obey Him. It's, I want to obey you, God, because you love me so much that you would sacrifice your Son for me. And I don't want to cause you pain. I don't want to break your heart. But why is this important? Either way, we're doing what God wants us to do, right? That being scared of God tears us away from Him. But fearing Him means being in awe of Him and trying to live like Him every day, which brings us closer and closer to Him. And here's why. When you're going through some rough spots in your life, and I mean just really, really hard times, you're anxious, confused, angry, things are just falling apart. Being scared of God becomes yet another burden. On top of everything I'm going through, I have to be righteous as well. And that is when your faith starts crumbling. The one you should be leaning on, your refuge, your ever-present help in trouble, doesn't seem so present right now, and all because you weren't able to see God for who He really is, your best friend and Father. So when your fear of God is driven by your love for Him, your focus shifts from the howling winds and the raging waves of your situation to the peace and the love of God. The metaphor that Solomon uses in Proverbs 14:27 is really, really beautiful. He compares the fear of God to a fountain of life. So in the ancient days, fountains were not just beautiful structures to marvel at, they were sources of water used in everyday life, whether for cooking, drinking, bathing, just an essential to everyday living. So in other words, Solomon is trying to tell us that the fear of God isn't just an emotion that we feel when we think about the Red Sea being parted or the 10 plagues. We need the fear of God to survive as Christians in the same way that we need water to survive as humans. And when we lack this refreshment, when we lack access to the fountain of life, when we don't have the fear of God, we make ourselves thirsty and weary. When we regularly drink from the fountain of life, when we fear God every day, every minute of our lives, we refresh ourselves. And it keeps us alive because it is a basic necessity. So it's like a Christian compliment to call someone or to be called God-fearing. So I've heard and even used the term several times, but never really understood what it meant. But when I finally understood that the fear of God didn't imply being scared of God, but being in awe of Him and striving to live like Him every day, it's made my relationship with God so much deeper. And I want everyone to be able to experience that. So remember, it's okay to run in the vacuum, but always make it a part of your life to run to the Father in wonder of His power, salvation, and love. Thank you.